Hello everyone and welcome to Shard TCG. My name is James and in this video we're going to be doing some vector tracing. So as you can see, I've got the sketch out here. This was submitted by, I would call him Wilkstorm. Let's just make sure I'm crediting him correctly. On the Discord at the moment he's currently known as Benito Demon, but in my heart he is Wilkstorm. So Wilkstorm has also submitted the Protathletus. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I'm putting that up on the screen now. So you can see the before and after for how I've shardified it into the shard card art. So now I'm going to do the same with this one. So this one is slightly more landscape than portrait. So we're going to make some changes to that. But I do like the rock in the foreground here. So we'll be adding this. So I've centered this with the card template here. So this is where he will be. Or she. Maybe it's a she. We're going to say a shixie is a she. So this is where she will be on the card. And vector tracing is pretty straightforward. It's just like drawn, except all the lines are ready. So what we want to do is we want to zoom right in. I like to start with the eye. So we're going to get that nice roundness right there. We get the right stroke width for the Bezier tool. And then what we're going to do, let's see. So it's got like almost like it's a mouth with an eye in it, isn't it? So it's, what I like about this design is it's a very simple design. And the simple designs tend to catch my eye a bit more. A simple good design tends to catch my eye a bit more, of course. So we're just going to follow these lines right up here. And all I'm going to do is create a little bit of an overlap here. Just for the sense of depth. These are the subtle changes I like to do. And the reason I do that now is if we get rid of that, it's just a sense of this almost tooth-like shape is hidden behind there, which means this one's protruding out further. So that's the only reason I do that. So this tooth is behind the eye, which Wilkstorm has already done, so there's no change there. I just want to acknowledge why that was like that. This bit, I think he's put in like a subtle shade, I think. You know, it's noticing the nuances of somebody else's drawing and converting it over is quite interesting sometimes. So with that subtle shade, I'm guessing there's a crease there like that. So that bends almost forward. And then that'll join up there. Of course, can we do one just straight? We might just take that a little bit out of its shape just for a curve. See, that bit goes a bit flat there. We want to keep that nice and smooth if we can. So I'm just going to do that and that should be a smoother line. So let's take away the sketch. This is what we've got so far. Now, as I've taken away the sketch, I can see this bit is just a little flat. These are the subtle changes I always end up doing. So that bit ends up going a bit flat. I'd like that to curve more naturally. It's just these slight tweaks and then it's just not as flat. So there's not a lot of actual editing to do. It is just what looks more pleasing to the eye. Like you see with this tentacle in particular, it gets quite thin and then quite thick again. Though that might be to portray a more 3D effect, so let's see what we can do. Okay, so I think I've got it there. I'm just going to save that. It's, oh, let's straighten this bit up too. So the idea is this slips in behind there and then it folds it over on itself and then we have the outer part. So it's like it's twisting forward. It's just a little subtle hint, but I think that might be what he was getting at with that part of the drawing. So that's just a little correction from that. If we get rid of the line work, you can see what he was doing there. Just with this bit getting larger, I'm assuming it was coming forward. But sometimes you just got to put in the little folds. So I've noticed that the top tendrils are pointed, but the rest are more rounded. That's something I hadn't noticed before. So we're going to keep true to that as well. Okay, so I've noticed with this tendril here, Wilkes has actually put the crease in there, so that's a good little technique. That's why I was showing up at the top here, just this little part. I wasn't sure because his was more shaded there, and then we've added this part here. So there is a sense of a twisted tendril, which is a nice 3D effect. So I'm going to try and keep that line in there too. With the picture being blown up, it is a little bit blurry. So now we're just going to continue. What I might do here is just add a little bit extra 3D effect right there. Just another little fold. This is what we're doing. This video is really more of a how to draw tendril video. But I do think it gives you a good sense of how to put in these subtle 3D effects. The 3D effect is really just stop the line there and then put in another fold. The really awkward thing about tendrils as well is keeping them consistently the same size apart from each other all the way. And it can be quite a challenge. So I say this part here needs to be thicker. This one's quite consistent, so I'm relatively happy with this. I'm just gonna broaden this part here again. That really needs to come down a lot more, like so, and then we'll merge them together. Might have seen this trick on the previous video, the join selected nodes. So with that tendril folding over the top of this one hides underneath. So we're just going to broaden that because we did take away a lot of its length just there to get this curve. So there's just another subtle change there. And then we have that tendril come out this way. This tendril looking a bit too straight for me. Just without the distraction of the original sketch, I'm just going to curve that nicely like that and then see how much of a difference it is. Not much. It joins back up with its original point. It just has a little detour on the way, that's all. Okay, so here's the finished line work. And if I bring up the sketch, you can see there's just a slight change, just to pretty up the curves a little bit more, that's all. But all the shape and everything is relatively the same. So now we're going to just stay true to the foreground idea, which is we want to put a large rock right here. Oh, that's a very thin line. Let's broaden that up a bit. It's going to be in the foreground, so it needs to be a big broad rock. You know, put some straight bits in there. There we go. And then that's what we do for that. That might actually be a bit too broad. So it's still broader, but it's not as broad. Right, there we go. And the background, of course, is I'm going to go with the background layer. And if we just take another quick look at the sketch, he's got about there, hasn't he? Right. So the background layer, let's see, I can't have that on top. So we're going to go for the smoothness. There we are, nice and smooth. We're going to put that cactus there. It'll be a nice little addition. The infamous cactus. Like so. Just gonna put that behind that ridge like that. And we're actually gonna bring this cactus a little bit in because of the edge of the cards getting clipped. We don't want a clipped cactus. So we just bring that in a bit. Now if we check the template, yeah, that'll be within that range, so that's fine. So we've got the rock in the foreground, the cactus in the background, it's great. So now we're going to splash the colour on, put on the shading, and we'll see the finished result. Okay guys, we're all finished. I've put a couple of birds in the background, some clouds, shaded in the rock. The Ashixi's got glowing tendrils, but dark in the middle. Got a lovely red eye, glowing green. So for people who don't know, the Ashixi is going to be an acid aberration. I think she looks quite acidic. I love the red and green combination. I never got any confirmation from Wilkes about what colour the Ashixi should be. So I'm really hoping that he likes the red and green combo. And don't forget to let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye.